What's going on, dudes and dudettes? It's your boy Innocence, and today I got a bit of a different video for you guys about a game that was born and died within a year, and as far as I'm concerned, should definitely be considered a part of gaming history. I say that because a lot of first-person shooter players around my age, so ages 19 to 23, started off by first playing this game. It wouldn't be a stretch to say that a whole generation of FPS players got their sea legs in Ace of Spades Battle Builder, which is what we're going to be talking about today. Ace of Spades Battle Builder was a first-person shooter that targeted a younger audience, which is kind of a weird thing to do, all things considered, but okay. It was honestly what most people at the time were calling a blend of Minecraft and Call of Duty, so you could see why little kids would be interested in it, especially since it was a PC-only title and the kids who wanted it probably didn't have a lot of money. And I know some of you guys are laughing right now, probably saying something like, haha, Innocence, you privileged PC gamer. How could you dare mention PC gaming and not having a lot of money in the same sentence? You guys should be the last people worried about not having money. Kids who didn't have money own consoles, not PCs. Getting into PC gaming costs way more than console gaming, so how about you just go play your 200 FPS on your fancy $3,000 rig, you ingrate. I guess I'm an ingrate. Jokes aside, contrary to popular belief, PC gaming doesn't have to be expensive if you don't want it to be. Now, if you want an 11 out of 10 high frame rate, melt your eyes experience, then yeah, things are gonna get pretty expensive pretty quickly. But in all honesty, if you didn't mind a 30 FPS low settings experience, you could seriously get away with buying a run-of-the-mill HP laptop from Walmart for $299 without batting an eye. And you know, young kids who get into PC gaming often just use the cheap laptops their parents already bought for work and probably didn't spend any money at all. Now, did they know that doing that was going to turn into a lifelong hobby that continuously sucks money out of their pockets faster than a mortgage? No. Would they take it back? Maybe, but that doesn't mean there aren't a ton of low-budget PC gamers out there. And to be honest, and this one might sting a little, but a kid who grew up with a console probably had a family with more income than one who didn't. Okay, it's just my take, just a hot take. You don't have to agree with it. Opinion, people, opinion. Anyways, one of the main reasons Ace of Spades was popular back in the day, especially among kids, is that it ran on something like this, while Call of Duty ran on this. Ace of Spades was also priced at this, while Call of Duty was priced at this. Pretty much making this game 100% certified how to grab kids of spades. Every young future FPS player was definitely playing it. With that being said, let's get straight into the details. Alright guys, picture it. It's 2011 and you, a little kid, just spent your entire life savings to buy a laptop that could barely run Minecraft. But that's not gonna stop you from getting your game on and running any title, and I mean any title, at dirt low settings on a 360p display and 20 FPS. You were determined to be a PC player, and PC play you shall. Enter buildandshoot.com, whose literal slogan was, even your grandmother's rig can run it. And you think to yourself, well, as a 12-year-old child with a rather precariously constructed HP pavilion, what might this be about? So you go to the website and download the free-to-play game and hop into your first FPS ever. And the rest is history. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're asking the question, what happened to Ace of Spades? Ace of Spades was a fully fledged sandbox shooter where you could build, fly, shoot, dig, and pretty much do whatever you want to try to gain an edge over your opponents. But before it looked like this, it looked like this. And that's where our journey begins, before the IP was bought out and sentenced to death by Jagex in 2012. Before Ace of Spades Battle Builder, there was simply Ace of Spades, a game so ungraphically demanding, I think your computer might have gotten faster by running it. You could build and shoot, and that was all you needed. There were 3 weapons in the game, the rifle, SMG, and shotgun, and times were simple. You had a choice between the 3 guns at the start of each match, and you had a grenade by default. It was you, your weapons, and your spade, which is just a fancy word for shovel, against the world. And in 2011, things couldn't be better for your small pre-adolescent heart, as you genuinely had fun playing the only 2 game modes, Team Deathmatch and Capture the Flag. The game was really fun, and being able to play with your friends who also had garbage computers was never easier. And to this day, it's probably the only game your first computer ever surpassed 60 FPS in. Then enter Jagex. This is gonna be a sad story. Enter Jagex. You know, the makers of RuneScape obviously wanted to make a quick buck, so what do? They offer a large sum of money to whatever gang of misfit coders developed the original Ace of Spades and bought it out. And in about a year's time, out comes Ace of Spades Battle Builder, a sequel so unlike the original you'd think it was adopted. But honestly, the game was received relatively well and did a lot to build upon the original universe, so props, I guess? The only real issue it had was that it was just so criminally unfinished. Dear Lord, it seemed like Jagex started this game the night before it was due and had to finish it on the bus or something. There were bugs here, exploits there, and even more cheaters than in Ace of Spades Classic, which is ridiculous because Ace of Spades Classic was made using the VoxLab engine, which was probably written in Java. I mean, for crying out loud, all you had to do to cheat in Ace of Spades Classic was drag and drop a .dll file onto your desktop and you were up and lighting those fools faster than they had a chance to realize what was going on. No exaggeration. And Ace of Spades Battle Builder was arguably worse than that. People were not gonna be happy. And within about 6 months time, well, even that's a bit generous, within about 2 months time, people were starting to catch on that Jagex had absolutely no intention of fixing this game and would probably ditch it in about a year. So what did they do? Well, in classic mob mentality fashion, they started to literally bomb the Steam reviews with everything from your mom jokes to those classic, I would rather do blank than play this game for another blank amount of time. And let me tell you, those things could get pretty damn creative. My personal favorite is, I'd rather drag my balls through a mile of rusty nails in broken glass than play this game for another 2 minutes. What in the world? I am telling you, the grandfather of cancel culture has to be early 2010 Steam reviews. And the hate for the game didn't stop there. People took to Twitter, the forums, Reddit, and literally roasted Jagex and their audacity to defile such a sacred game everywhere they could. But what did it do? Nothing. Jagex didn't care and instead released a couple of paid DLCs rather than fix the problems that were actually plaguing the game. It's like they saw where the ship was headed and decided to make every last cent they could before they jumped off it. Not to mention that those paid DLCs I just talked about actually became free after a while, but none of the day one adopters, like myself, got a refund for it. But it's whatever, 2013, water under the bridge. Who cares if I lost 4 weeks worth of saving up as a 12-year-old? Not mad about it at all, doesn't really matter. Like, losing the money didn't even hurt me. $5 I'm never getting back, man. So everything was a mess, and it seemed like this game would never be saved. And unfortunately, that was the case. 2014 came along and something eerie happened. Everybody forgot about the game, almost simultaneously, even myself. Mind you, this game had the potential to become another Minecraft. It was initially developed by a solo coder like Minecraft's Notch, released around the same time, and had 2.5 million downloads in its first 2 months of release, with 550,000 active players. By today's standards and taking into account how much gaming as a whole has grown, those numbers aren't insane. But for 2011, they most definitely were, and in fact very comparable to what is now the best-selling video game of all time. But alas, Jagex literally killed it. I swear, in some alternate universe somewhere far away, Ace of Spades is the Minecraft we know today. However, sadly, we as gamers had to move on. 2014 came, and it was around this time that Call of Duty Ghosts had flopped big time, and it was a memeing sensation to go play the Call of Duty prior just to spite Activision. And by then, most of us had grown up a little and mastered the art of pushing our trash PCs to their utmost limits. Whether it was Razer Game Booster, changing system task priority and task manager, or high performance mode on a dying laptop, you name it. We had fully dedicated ourselves to burning our processors into the ground, so we were no longer concerned with those silly little things known as system requirements. And with that, Ace of Spades died, seemingly overnight. And up until now, I never really knew the final fate of the game, but having gotten older, I decided to go sift through my massive Steam library just to see how far I've come, see what games I've played, and how my specs have changed. And during my nostalgia run, I stumbled upon Ace of Spades Battle Builder, and I decided to Google it. And not to my surprise, the game's servers were shut down 4 years ago in 2017, which is why throughout this entire video you weren't able to see any gameplay from myself since I couldn't collect it. So that's what happened to Ace of Spades. A sad and quiet yet peaceful death that nobody noticed. It's really a shame that it had to go down like this because Ace of Spades Classic was the first FPS game I ever played, and Battle Builder was the first game on Steam I owned for that matter. So seeing things end like this is kinda surreal. Makes me feel like I'm a lot older than I am, and sad that no other kid will be able to experience the life and death of this game as I did. Rest in peace, old friend. You did well with what you had. But you, no, you can stay dead. Welp, that's gonna bring us to the end of the video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed my sharing of a small piece of gaming history and showing you guys the game that quite literally got me started off in my gaming endeavors. Give me all sorts of feedback for these kinds of videos in the comments. Anyway, if you liked the video, leave a like. If you disliked the dislike, and be sure to subscribe so you never miss a future upload on the channel. Oh, and hit that bell notification button if you're so inclined. I've been Innocence, you've been the audience, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.